Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. The first thing we're going to talk about is Mike Sommerfeld's coach, Neil Hill, talking a little bit more in depth on prepping Mike for the Arnold Classic and for the Mr. Olympia, and also opening up about the height controversy. And that's really why most of us clicked on that podcast. Now, Neil Hill is a phenomenal coach. He prepped, for example, Flex Lewis for, I think, all the 2012 Mr. Olympia titles that Flex won. Also, William Bonac. Now he's prepping Rafael Brandao. A lot of other great bodybuilders. You guys can name a couple if you think of anybody else. But yeah, a great coach now, today, he's basically known as the coach of Mike Sommerfeld, because Mike Sommerfeld is the hot topic these days. Everybody's talking about him and the height controversy. And in this podcast, guys, I encourage you to go and watch the full thing, but there are a couple of very interesting parts in which Neil Hill talks about this issue. And there is one theme that keeps repeating the entire podcast, and that's something I wanted to address in this video. Before I actually talk about it and explain what I exactly mean, let me play one part of the podcast for you guys here first.
We had such a short timeline for us to make weight with the announcement. There's no way that we were able to lose like 12 pounds within 4 days, because it was pretty much 4 days, because I think the announcements took place on Saturday. We took time to sort of process it. Weigh-ins was on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you've only got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You've got 4 days.
Right.
How can you lose that kind of like weight?
Do you guys see what I'm getting at? While listening to Neil here, are you thinking the same thing that I am? Well, if you don't, let me explain. So basically, he says, after the announcement, we had 4 or 5 days to make the weight. So how did they know exactly that Mike's height is going to be 5'8" and not 5'9"? So they were pretty sure, they were aware that Mike's real height is not 5'9", that it's the best case scenario, 5'8". So how the hell did anyone make that height before? That's what I'm thinking. Because Neil was for sure, if you listen to this, he knew that Mike is going to be 5'8" max. Listen to this again.
There's no way that we were able to lose like 12 pounds. Weigh-ins was on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So you've only got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You've got 4 days.
Right.
How can you lose that kind of like weight?
So this doesn't sound like he was, well, maybe we'll make the weight, maybe not. Let's not risk it. Let's play it safe. Or should we risk it? You'll probably make that height. You're probably that tall. No. He's like, we are not 5'9". That's for sure. We're 5'8", and that's it. What is that's a whole inch, guys. That's not 1 centimeter. That's an entire inch. That's 2.5 centimeters. That's like this much. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, I mean, I don't know what happened, but my best guess here would be that no, I don't think Mike cheated at a height-ins. I think the IFBB just allowed it. I think that's what happened. And that's why Neil was so outraged when this happened. He was really outraged. He actually spoke about this openly. He was like, how the hell are we going to do it now? Because it seems like the IFBB changed their mind. Because they were under a lot of public pressure. Everybody was talking about is there were so many photos out there before. They were measuring the hairs and everything. They didn't pay that much attention to the actual height. And after seeing that Mike spoke openly about his height actually being 5'6", not even 5'8" or 7, but 5'6". So after all that, it was obvious that Mike had a big advantage compared to everybody else, and that's why he was winning. That's why he looked like a freaking bodybuilder. It didn't make any sense. After that, IFBB was forced to remeasure him, and they allowed him to compete like that. I don't think it was Mike who cheated. They actually just let him. And I don't think IBB had bad intentions under this. I don't think they were pushing Mike because he had connections. They just wanted to see the best physiques out there. And if somebody was slightly above the weight cap, they would just let them in without really being too strict with this. They just wanted to have the best possible show out there. But it's just not fair towards some other guys who are trying to make the weight exactly what it needs to be. And now this rule is applied. I love it. It's the way it needs to be. But Mike doesn't love this, and Neil neither, because Mike will never be at his absolute best with this new rule. And I know his goal is to get taller, but that's not happening. That's not happening, and there is no way he can actually cheat the system. But we'll see what's going to happen this year. Eddie Arnold Classic. You guys tell me down below. What do you think about this? Oh yeah, and real quick, we also got a new physique update from Mike Sommerfeld, and in this one, I can finally understand what Neil Hill actually wanted to say when he said that Mike is quite there, almost there, body fat percent-wise, but he's not there yet with the look. Because here you can see that Mike is lean, like conditioning is 2 weeks out probably, but the shape and the fullness and the detail, the quality, it's not quite there yet. Now, he could potentially change drastically with a good peak week, carbing up and dehydrating and just nailing the peak. But yeah, you can see it, like especially in the back, I would say here, in the hamstrings and certain body parts. I don't know if this is just him being flat, but it just, he does lack that pop, that wow factor. It could be the flatness only, but it honestly kind of looks like he is not injecting great gear. He kind of looks like he could be using some fake gear or something like that. Or maybe that they didn't start the hardeners yet, certain compounds that will actually make his physique start to look more alive, more fresh, more impressive overall. I think I can actually see it here. When I first thought Neil speak about it, I was like, what the hell is he even talking about? He's just trying to confuse us and Mike as well. But now I can actually see it in this video finally. This is not Mike Sommerfeld that needs to be on that stage. If he shows up like this, he'll probably lose to Wesley, maybe somebody else as well. But in another 5 weeks, he'll probably get much better. So yeah, there you go, guys. Whatever you think, down below in the comments. All right, the next physique update we got for today, guys, is a physique update of Iain Valliere's lower body. That's right, he's finally showing us his legs as well. And yes, his upper body came up quite a bit in a very short time span, but now we can finally see his legs, and I would say his legs are probably one of his strongest body parts. Maybe arms first. I mean, Iain was kind of known for not really having a single good body part. Actually, I would say none of his body parts were great. Like his back would have been better. His chest was pretty flat. His shoulders were wide, but they weren't really super complete and round. His triceps were not the best shaped, and the biceps in the front double weren't that good looking. His quads also could have been bigger, and I think the only body part that he actually had that was great was his glutes, and that's it. But overall, he just had a lot of size and great conditioning, and that's actually the kind of physiques that I like the most. Like, if you ask me about my favorite physique of all time, I would say Dorian Yates. Even though I know Dorian is far from the most complete bodybuilder, that's what I like about his physique. Not having too many impressive body parts, standout body parts, but still looking so impressive with a lot of size and great conditioning. And Iain is the same way. So I was always a fan of Iain's physique. And again, none of his body parts were super impressive, but he had a lot of size everywhere. And as far as his legs, they were big, man, no doubt about that. And here in this photo, I mean, he definitely, brought them. I haven't really seen them, to be honest. I don't think he showed them to us this time when he was off. So I don't know what they were at their smallest, but do they look as big as they once were? No, but they're getting there. I would say they are at maybe, 70% of his max size. So, yeah, I think overall they're good for this point after being on a little bit of juice for only like 2 months. They are good. They're going to get bigger. I think at this point it's very possible we'll actually see an on that stage, because it seems like his body is responding better than it did back when he was on a full blast. Right? I think his body is resynthesized now. His mind is fresh as well. He's enjoying the process. Doesn't have a coach. He's doing his own thing, enjoying things. If he gets serious, he'll get a coach, no doubt about that. Probably Patrick again. I think those guys work together really well. They were a great team. So, yeah, let's wait and see what's going to happen. But again, Iain's legs do look good. Not quite where they were before, but good. Upper body is great. Also not quite there yet, but very close. Legs are, however, lacking a little bit, but that's usually the case. It's definitely more complicated. It just takes more time for legs to come back once you lose them. But if they are like this right now, they'll get huge, super huge again, but they're decent already. Now, in order to show you how big Iain's legs actually need to get to be competitive on the Mr. Olympia stage, I'll show you a top 12 finisher, I think. That's Rafael Brandao. And this is what Rafa's legs look like right now. Right? Like, these are some freaking huge legs. Massive legs. And the thing with Rafa is he's not the biggest guy. He doesn't have the biggest size. He has good proportions, but he's not that massive. Now, because of his proportions and his classic look, he also kind of seems smaller than he is. But he's not small at all. He's also a big freaking bodybuilder. But you can see right here the difference. Like, this is what good legs, big legs actually look like. And honestly, I was so surprised as well when I saw this. I thought his legs are looking super freaking big. I mean, I think he can definitely stand on that stage against all those guys who are doing this and actually definitely challenge them in the quads department. Now, Hadi has massive quad sweeps and overall legs, but Hadi's one leg is definitely down in size quite a bit, so he can expose that because Rafa has great symmetry. Also, Andrew, I mean, his legs are pretty big, but it's mostly adductors. He doesn't have those crazy big sweeps like Rafa does. And overall, Andrew's legs are his weakest point for sure. And of course, Nick Walker, his legs are not that great neither. And Martin has pretty good legs, but that's about it as far as the top 4. So Rafa is probably going to be in that top 5, and with his legs, he can definitely stand out in some shots and maybe not beat the other 3 guys or 4 guys, but stand next to them and look very, very, very competitive. I think that's very possible, and that would be a huge achievement for this guy, especially now that he's making his comeback. Anyways, his legs look massive. Whatever you guys think about them, tell me down below in the comments. Oh, and yeah, I saw this post on IG today. The 19-year-old native phenomenon, Jullian Fitzgerald, training and posing with Honey Rambert. And this guy is supposed to compete this year now. He is definitely a huge internet sensation because he's claiming this natty status. And he does look kind of natty, but has those freaking insane arms. And here you can see what he looks like in some of the poses. Like, for example, his front double compared to side chest looks pretty terrible. Biceps are there, but no lats. Nothing like that, nothing else other than biceps. Side chest is actually pretty freaking great, the upper body, but the front double bicep, man, just not very good. Not very good. For a 19-year-old, great. Great, he can definitely make a lot of progress, put on some more size in the lats, in the chest, and just, practice the posing, maybe do a vacuum. But yeah, right now it doesn't look very good in the front double. Side chest does look very impressive. And if it's Honey Rambert who is prepping him, who is going to help him with the posing, and the presentation, and everything, and nailing the condition and the peak, then yeah, I can expect this guy to look very good again for a 19-year-old. And I don't know if he's truly natural or not. Who the hell knows, man? Like, I can see sometimes if somebody is actually natural based on the look in their skin, because I know some real natural guys over here who are actually very, very good. So I can see those details in the skin, but that's when you have a competitor who is very successful. If you look at somebody young like this, you can't really see those details. You can only talk about the size that he acquired at such a young age, and it's probably unrealistic to be this big, to have biceps like this and chest, but it's not impossible. There are genetic freaks out there, so yeah, it's definitely possible to be a natty. I believe it is. I don't see why not. But whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comments. And also tell me, how do you think he's gonna do on a bodybuilding stage, hopefully this year, as he announced. That's gonna do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you guys happen to be natural and you wanna compete or enhanced and you need somebody's help to pick you for the show, to get you shredded without losing any muscle, or you just want to lose some weight for the summer, for the spring right now is a really good time to start. If you want my help, DM it, even bodybuilding coaching on Instagram. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.